Hello, beautiful people. Hi. Sorry, I always be having technical difficulties. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, I'm gonna get started in just 1 minute. I have to make sure that it's actually working because sometimes I be talking and it don't be working. Oh, we got it. Okay, let me just tweak something right here. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Tonight's topic is shut up and heal. I know people probably heard that topic and it was like, who the fuck is she talking to? Could she tell somebody to shut up and heal? It was shut up or just stop or just be still or just sit down or like you ever have those moments where you're just talking to yourself and telling yourself that was my thought process with it. Someone said that yesterday Trish said that is a really bold topic and I said sometimes you got to be bold, sometimes you just have to be. And given the fact, hold on, let me give y'all my disclaimers before I hop all the way in there. I do not tolerate disrespect that is in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it is towards me, towards anyone that appears in the chat. If someone appears on the screen, hey Jamela, I do not tolerate disrespect. We are surviving. You have survived your life, a global fucking pandemic, monkeypox, all of this stuff. All of this stuff. So if you have not decided to choose happiness at this point in time, stay tuned because we're going to talk about it. Okay. There will be curse words. There will possibly be tears given the topic of the conversation. There will be tears. I am not a mental health professional. I am just one woman willing to share my personal experiences to let you know two things. One, you can overcome anything that life has brought to you. And two, you are not alone. So many times in our lives, we have felt like we are alone, like we are the only person out of all the billions of people on this earth that has experienced this. And I created Nurturing Conversations because I want to let you know you are not alone. You aren't. I feel like more people need to talk. So I created a platform where we could talk about shit that people don't want to talk about. And today's topic is shut up and heal. This topic came, um, I've experienced a lot through this global fucking pandemic. And as I was experiencing things, I'll just start by saying this, right? I'm 42 years old, right? And the beginning part, the middle part, all the way up until right now, my life has been a fucking roller coaster, right? There's been highs, there have been lows, there's been times where I didn't know if I was going to make it the next second. There's been hospital stays, there's been breakups, there's been death, there's been all kinds of fucking things happening, right? And I said, as I crossed over into 40, I don't want to carry around that baggage anymore. Like, this is why I said, if you haven't made the decision, I hope by the end of this podcast, you will start thinking, your brain will start saying, you know what, I think we need to start doing something. So I said at 40, I don't want to walk around with the baggage of my past. I don't want to walk around with the baggage of being molested or having my innocence taken, or I don't want to walk around with that anymore. I want to choose happiness. I actually said it like this. For the rest of my life, I would like to walk into light, love, and positivity. And it requires consistency. That's something that people we don't have anymore. Like we just I don't know what happened to it, but we just don't have it anymore. So 40, I decided I'm no longer going to walk around with this stuff. Now, I had been in therapy since my 20s and I've been applying the techniques, but I wasn't fully applying them. Like people give you, hey, here's some advice that you should take. And sometimes it be really good advice, but we feel like we be knowing how to like conduct our life. Not saying that you don't, but we feel like we know how to conduct our life. So we don't pay attention to the advice. Sometimes we pay attention when it's like too late. Sometimes we pay attention, we don't be paying attention to it. I said to myself, 40, I don't give a fuck what I have to do. I am not carrying around that baggage anymore. So when I said that, It was like I started my journey of healing and self discovery. And the first place that my life took me was back to when I was 8 years old, and my life had like literally before eight. I mean, I can remember like busting my head open with a chicken noodle soup can, oh, and a brick, but that's about it. But eight was when my life got like real, real. Life got real for me. That was the first time I was molested. And then, life after that just happens and you just become a product of your environment, or you just start living life according to how you feel is best for you. So from eight all the way up until I don't even know, I want to say today, I've been doing what I need to do to protect myself. But at eight, or I'm 40, but I'm at eight, and I was actually in the shower. Let me know if this is TMI, but I'm telling you the whole experience of it. So I did tell y'all there was going to be tears. I was in a shower and I was transported to my 8-year-old self, and I began to wail like you ever like. I began to wail. I'm just gonna say that. Like, it's that ugly cry you get where it's just like you releasing everything. And I began to wail, and I felt what I felt when I was 8 years old. Like, I felt like unprotected. I felt unloved. I felt all of those things. And as a 40-year-old woman standing in the shower, I'm wailing. And then as I'm wailing, I just said, I'm sorry. And you are protected, you are loved, and you are okay. And it was as though my tears just started to like, hi Journey. It was as though my tears just started to like dry up, like real life dry up. And so I was just like, man, was that all I wanted to hear the whole entire time? And then I started going even further. I before 40, I had sat down with my parents. If you don't know, my relationship, I felt like, this is why I'm an advocate of parents or family units, making sure that your household is a safe space, because I felt like I was not loved. I felt like my mother and my father abandoned me because, like, I'm the only girl, so I should be spoiled. I should be having all of this. This is my thought process. So I didn't get any of that. Like, my grandmother, like, pretty much raised me. My mother was there. She was present, but my grandmother pretty much raised me. My father wasn't there. He didn't come around until like 7 years ago. So I had a conversation with them, and I spoke to them and let them know like how I felt and what I thought. And when I think about it, right? When I think about it now, it was like what I saw. You see a parent and you're supposed to be able to go and do all of these things because they're your parents. But when I'm talking to them, I'm letting them know where I am at, and I'm wanting to understand where they were. And then the thing that I realized about this whole entire journey is understanding, right? So I began to understand where my mother was at the time that she birthed me. I understood where my father was at the time where he birthed me. And hearing them say where they were and understanding life and how things happen, it kind of broke off a layer that surrounded my heart, and I started to feel my heart beat again. Whew. I started to feel my heartbeat again. And for me, that was like something I didn't feel for a long time. Like, I'm not going to say I was just out here being cold. I was just really, really cautious about who I gave my time, attention, all of those things to. Because once you get hurt, you automatically, it's like your brain just go into, we got to protect ourselves mode. So I'm talking to them. My mom tells me, my father tells me, and then I don't see them. I don't see my father for like I said, for 7 years ago. And then I'm going through life, going through experiences, and I'm starting to notice patterns, right? Once I begin to notice patterns, I begin to notice, like, here's a pattern. And you probably might not think of this as a huge pattern, but listen, I'm gonna tell you it's a pattern. Anytime I would get stressed, I would go to the store and I would buy a cherry Pepsi, a bag, 2 bags or two $4 bags of Frito-Lay sunflower seeds, and some peanut M&Ms. And I knew every time I was stressed, I would go get that. And I started to say to myself, if I know when I'm about to be stressed, why don't I just replace those things with something else? And then I began to meditate. So whenever my life got a little stressful, I would just sit in silence, or I would just sit with some really relaxing music, and I would just think, like, okay, why am I stressed? What causes stress? Why am I stressed, and how do I change it? That's how I process things. What caused it? Why? And how do I change it? So I'm walking this journey of healing and self discovery, and then life is happening, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to find coping mechanisms where I know, like we all know, like our coping mechanisms, right? If you don't know what a coping mechanism is, it's something that you do to replace, like if you feel sad or whatever, right? And then you feel like you got to go out, or you got to party or smoke or drink or whatever. I'm not saying if you do that you are but you know what I'm saying. You picking up what I'm putting down. I don't want to have coping mechanisms. I want to just be able to just be free. Just be free. And so I stopped doing the Pepsi stuff. I had this thing where I really wanted everybody to like love me, like love me. I would go, and when I think about it now, I would do shit like I was paying mortgages, I was paying people light bill, I was doing all kinds of stuff. And because I'm a Cancer too, so I like really care about people. And when people know that you really care, they take advantage of it all the time. They do. I don't think they, I don't think they do it on purpose. I want to say that. I want to say they don't do it on purpose. But hey, people do, do stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend money. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I had to figure out why. And it was because I didn't feel that from my parents. I didn't have that in my mom's house. My mom loved me. Now let's say this. My mom loves me. She loves me because she's still alive. She loves me. At that time, I just didn't feel it. Like, everyone was like, "Oh, your mom bought you a day bed," and all, they would list all the material stuff. And I was like, "But I've never really sat down and talked to my mom. Like, I can't go to my mom and tell her this happened to me. Like, I never had that. Like, my grandma, I could tell her everything, everything. But my mom, I didn't feel that. So, therapy, I went to therapy. I started to let shit go. Like, I realized one of the things that worked for me for therapy is when they say, or she said, um, find a place where you feel safe. Oddly enough, for me, the place that I feel safe was in the booth of a recording studio. Like, not even a recording studio, just in a space where I'm recording or I'm writing my own music. Like, that's where I felt safe. So she was like, go in there. She started asking me all these questions, and I'm sitting there and I'm just thinking in my mind, because I don't know, maybe you have this idea about therapy, like I don't need to go to therapy because there's nothing wrong with me. But shit, if you survived these last 2 years, you should just go to therapy. But I was sitting there like, how the fuck is this gonna help me? And then I just stopped resisting, and I just opened up. And as she was asking me the questions, I felt myself get tense. Like, I felt myself just like, I don't know. It just was a feeling that I cannot really put into words, but I felt myself do that. And then the more she asked the questions, the more I answered the questions, the more I felt like relief. The more I felt relief. So from that moment forward, I had to keep telling myself to shut up and heal. Sometimes I wanted to like say, you be in a situation and shit just it just really fucked up, and you be like, you want to point your finger and be like, and then I had to tell myself, nope, just shut up and heal. It's easy. It's easy for me to point the finger at somebody as to why I am the way I am today. It's easy. But what is not easy to do at times is to look myself in the fucking mirror and say, you know what? A lot of those decisions that you made them. You knew, like you knew what the consequences of those things were, but you was big and bad. You was going to go in and take those. And I ate all of that because a lot of those decisions I made, I didn't have to. At that time, I thought I was doing the right thing, like in protecting myself, but I didn't have to make those decisions. And so I have to keep telling myself, shut up and heal. I traveled through my 30s in therapy, testing out the little, not little, because they was huge for me. I tested out many of the different things that was suggested in therapy, and many of them work, and some of them I didn't try, so I didn't know if they worked. But as I started getting to my end of my 30s, it's like, I don't know. I don't know about you. I don't know what age you are, but listen, when you get to your 30s, right, something switches in you. Something switches. It's like all the shit that you really thought you cared about, it's starting to like not mean as much, right? So all the shit I was doing before 35, it was like, no, I need to figure out, like, I'm getting up there. Not saying that I'm old, but I'm getting up there, and I need to figure out what I want to do with my life, like how I want my life to play out, because I knew that all the shit that happened to me in my life, that wasn't me. So as a result of all the shit happening to me, um I became a person that, like, I loved people. Like, I love people, and I they classified as a people pleaser. I became one of those people, and at the same time I neglected myself. I neglected myself for so many years. I neglected myself. I will put everybody's um wants and needs and desires over mine. And I didn't really think anything of it. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm just doing it. But the whole entire time I was cool, because people was like, yeah, girl, let's go here, let's do this. And then you start realizing, like, people be forgetting their wallets, and then they not like, they're just not, people are not just good humans. People are not good humans. And because you don't want to be alone, or because you don't want to have people feel like they don't like you, you just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with it, because then I had to get to the point in my life, I want to say I was like 37, 38, somewhere up in there. It was like, you look back and you like, damn, I had so much. I don't even know. I mean, I had a job, or now I was like, I'm really creative, so I always had income. But I was like, where the fuck was I getting all this money? Like, how was I able to pay? Like, I was doing shit where it's just like, why? Then when you ask yourself why, and you really fucking answer the question, like, not trying to be all like, oh, I'm doing this because, no, when you really answer the fucking question, it's like, because you want to be loved. I love myself. No, myself said, you want to be loved, and you do that so that you can be loved. And I said, shit, that's some powerful shit, when you could sit and talk to yourself and be real. Like, people say, I don't never lie to myself. I tell myself the truth all the time. I guarantee you lied to yourself a couple of times this week. Guarantee you. How can you guarantee? If you told yourself you was tired, but somebody called and said, hey, come go here with me, and you was like, well, I guess I could sleep a little later, or I'm not really that tired. Anytime you have to put that, this is my philosophy, this is my opinion. I should have said, my opinions are my opinions, and your opinions are your opinions. But we're here to have a healthy conversation, a nurturing conversation in regards to it. My opinion is, anytime you have to put that in front of anything, it changes it. Like, you ever have somebody be like, oh, he not that ugly, but that implies that he is ugly. He's just not. There's levels to it. For me, I began to understand that I was doing a lot of shit. Like, it was kind of like my entire existence was to make sure that people loved me. And I didn't want to do that anymore. And now, when you've been the person that people can go to for their bills or babysitting or whatever it is, and you put that boundary there and be like, nah, I don't want to do that no more. You better believe that people gonna be like, oh, now you trying to act different. You think you better. All of those things happen, right? And when you a person that's like not used to having people like not be there for you, like not love you, like not like whoo, that shit hurts. So I'm on this journey and I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. And then people just start falling off left and right and left and right. You ever said this prayer like, God, show me the people that's for me, or if they're not meant for me, Lord, let them leave. And then people start leaving and then you be like, Lord, let them come back. Like, I don't know what's going on. No, that's real life. Like your body, your mind, your entire being. I feel like if more people paid attention to their self, like their whole entire being, your being will tell you, um, what you should and shouldn't do, who you should be around and who you shouldn't be around. You ever go around somebody and you just have this weird feeling, like a weird feeling, like your feelings, like like I shouldn't be hanging with you, but we always have a good time when we together. That's your body trying to tell you, like, listen. You ever went somewhere and be like, damn, I should have followed my first mind? That's your body trying to tell you, follow it. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, as a 42-year-old woman, I'm gonna keep throwing my age in there because I want y'all to know. Follow it. Listen to it because it will not lead you wrong. You probably think it will, but it won't. If it's telling you to leave, leave. So I get to the point now where it's just like, I'm loving myself. I'm learning. I'm loving myself more. But what I realize on this journey of healing and self-discovery, we are forever. You will forever be on a journey of healing and self-discovery. You forever be on that journey, because think about it, right? When you're younger, you're taught, like, indirectly, sometimes directly, what you like, what you don't like, what you should do, what you shouldn't be doing. And then when you get an adult and you look back at all the stuff that you were taught and some of that you don't agree with, you're just doing it because you were taught, like you don't want to, like, be disrespectful to your parents. And so I started to, like, just peel away all of the layers that had been put on me my entire life. I wrote a poem and I said, I am not part of it. It was like, I am not the person that those situations or those people tried to create me out to be. Like, I'm not, that's not me. So as like, you peeling away the layers, you start to discover more and more about yourself. This is why I say shut up and heal. Shut up and heal was just, I just thought that was like, yeah, that's gonna get people talking, because who the fuck she thinks she is to tell me to shut up and heal? I am Chelle, also known as Chelle's Closet, also known as Midwsthumnbrd, also known as a lot of things. And I'm gonna tell you, somebody should tell you to shut up and heal. Anyways, so on this journey, I get crossing over to 40. I'm, taking strides. I'm accomplishing all kinds of shit. I just come off of, like, having a whole year worth of concerts. I'm killing it. Like, I'm walking in what I thought I wanted to walk in at that time. I'm walking in, I'm doing good. Yep, and then the pandemic hit. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, okay, what are you gonna do? But how are you going to operate? Like, how are you going to maneuver through your life? And I'm pretty sure, like, when a pandemic hit for you, you were probably sitting thinking the same thing. Like, okay, what I once knew, like what I once could do, I can't do no more. So I'm one of those people. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. And so I was like, okay, all the people I was reaching out to before, all the people I wanted to work with before, but they were so busy. You notice how everybody was so busy before the pandemic, but then the pandemic, it was like nobody had anything. I mean, we were locked in the house for a year. I kind of stayed in longer, but I began to do the work, like real life, do the work. I sat down and thought about all the things that I learned in therapy, all the things that I learned in life, all the things that the elders used to tell me and show me. And that's one thing I love about the elders. If you have elders around you, cleave to them. Cleave to them, because whether you believe it or not, they are a dying breed. Like, elders who actually share information are a dying breed. And I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to sit at the feet of some really knowledgeable elders. And so as I'm going on this journey, I started with my parents. I started with myself at 8. I'm coming through it, right? I'll experience a really bad breakup. It wasn't bad as though, like, there was no fighting or anything, but it was just a really bad breakup. And at the time, I'm just like, shit happens. That's what we say when shit happens. And at that time, I was really hurt. I was really, really hurt. I already told y'all there was going to be tears, but at that time, I was really, really hurt. And I knew myself, because when you know yourself, you know, like somebody talking to you and their tone get a little high, you know, like your body just be like, I know the fuck. Yeah, I know myself. And so because I was hurt, I was like, you know what? Shut up and heal. That's all I kept telling myself every day from 2020 all the way until now. I just keep telling myself to shut up and heal. Because so many times you want to just say stuff. You say stuff and then you be like, I don't even give a fuck how it's going to turn out because I don't even care. But at my core, I am somebody who truly loves people and I don't want to hurt anybody. Like, I don't want to hurt anybody. So I told myself, just shut up and heal. And then I started to ask myself the tough questions again. Why? Why did it hurt so bad? It's like I committed everything that I have. Like, first off, people know how I felt about being in a long term committed relationship. So, the fact that I even like hopped off the porch and did it, that was huge for me. And then for it to end the way that it ended, I was just like, I was hurt. I was heartbroken. And I started reading more like self-help books, I want to call them, like setting boundaries and how to overcome like hurt or how to let go of the past or just how to heal. Like I started reading more books like that. I know people will be like, well, I would start going to church. Honestly, church wasn't even in my, it wasn't a thought of any of that because I just knew like I come from church. I come from church. A lot of the fucked up shit that happened to me happened in church. This is no disrespect to anybody's religion. I'm just saying. So I just began to like peel more layers. Like, you know, there'd be like concrete, all these different levels, right? And I started to feel like I was at that last layer of my heart. I was there. I was on the last layer, and it was like life had began to like kind of start build more walls up, but I was at that last layer, and I was like, I just gotta let this shit go. Like I want to let everything go because I am striving for freedom. Freedom. And you probably looking at me like, girl, you free. Look at all that. Look at the background. I'm gonna listen to you free. No, it's one thing to be free. It's one thing to be free. Free where you don't have to worry about like that feeling. Like you ever breathe like right now, just go. And if the first thing that popped in your mind was like, damn, I gotta cook tonight, or I mean like free where I could just breathe and just like I can hear the air going through and coming out. Like it's a whole different experience, y'all. I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling you to shut up and heal. So I began to like process and acknowledge my emotions because what I realized the entire time of my life, I think I want to say at like 12, I shut my emotions off. We all know I couldn't just flick the switch and shut them off, but I did things to protect myself where I wouldn't have to feel disappointment. I wouldn't have to feel hurt. I wouldn't have to feel any of that. Like I didn't have to feel. So I'm just walking around not feeling. And then the moment I accepted my emotions and said, I am hurt and I am angry, I am disappointed. I acknowledged all of the feelings. When I tell y'all, it felt like I felt a sense of warmth. Like you know your blood is in your body, right? You know that, right? But I felt warm. Like I felt like the world had just hugged me and was like, finally you got to the place where we were trying to get you to be all this time, but you were so consumed with holding on to shit. This is where I had to learn to let shit go, right? I will hold on to it. I will hold on to the, oh, you gonna fuck me over? Oh, I got you. I got you on the next go round. Or people would do, and I would just hold it. I don't know why the fuck I was holding it. I was just holding it. And a part of me, like, you know, people be like, or people say, "Oh, drama just follows them. Drama follows them." And a part of me think like I don't think it's drama that follows them. I think some people aren't ready to like be honest with themselves and deal with the shit that they're going through, so they feel comfortable in drama. They feel comfortable there, because long as I'm here I don't have to be vulnerable. Long as I'm here, nobody gonna ask me how I'm doing, gonna ask me what I'm thinking. But the whole entire time we want people, we got a sign on our head saying, hey, ask me questions. Y'all ever see the commercial where they putting a mask like this, they're wearing a mask? We we want people to ask us that. The thing that I realized in my whole process, I remember like my grandmother asking me. I remember my grandmother asking me all the time, like, "How was your day? What was your day like? Um, what do you plan to do this weekend? Or how is there anything that I can do to help you?" Like for me, I remember people be asking me those kind of things. And at that time, I didn't understand because so much shit going on in my life, and I'm just like, okay, let me compartmentalize this shit, right? So as I'm healing, right, as I'm acknowledging, as I am sitting down and I'm allowing my body to like be transported. Of course, we know, let me say this, I'm not being transported. Like I'm allowing myself to heal. I'm understanding life. I am understanding emotions. I understood that trauma trapped inside can come out in different ways. Um, During this journey, I didn't say this, but during this journey, I lost my ability to walk and talk. During this journey, I can't even count how many times I had a stroke. I can't count. I lost count. Like so many different things happened because my body was trying to like rid itself of it. Like it was trying to let it go. And me, I'm just like, no, I'm gonna hold on to this because if I can't say that my parents didn't love me, then I mean, what am I going to hold on to? And the more I started to let shit go, the more I started to accept, acknowledge, and change it, I realized I had more space to do other shit with. I 2020 2020 I had COVID. I experienced a really bad breakup. I scored a fucking documentary. I never scored a documentary ever in my life, but I'm gonna tell you all about me, right? I knew that one day I would get to the point whew, where I am right now, right? It took a lot of saying shut up and heal, but the point where I am right now, and you probably like, what the fuck? Where are you right now? I'm at the point right now where I feel like I can do any fucking thing in life. Any fucking thing I just decide I want to do. I'm at the point where I have the confidence, the courage, the strength, and the wisdom to accomplish that thing. That didn't happen. That wasn't always, but it took me acknowledging and accepting and sitting down and not blaming people. I talk up on this channel a lot, and there's this analogy. I don't know what the fuck it is, but people say hurt people, right? For me, I hate that fucking saying. Cause in my mind it says shut up. Nope. In my mind it says shut the fuck up and heal. If you know that you are broken, why are you out here trying to get into something else? You're not healed. You can't take on more. But what I realize is that's what we do in life because that's what we're taught. We're taught to like suck it up, dust ourselves off, and go on to something else. We're not taught to sit down and heal. Sit down and think about how that situation turned out. Like sit down. Okay, you were in a fucked up relationship, or you were in a good relationship and it just ended bad. It's some maybe you got cheated on, maybe whatever, right? Take the time and heal and discover yourself because I don't know about y'all, but I was in a relationship and I realized how lost I got in that relationship. And that's no knock to the person that I was with. I don't even do that. But that was me. It was me. I gave every fucking thing I had of myself to that relationship. And that's where disappointment came in. But then I thought to myself, that wasn't the first time I got disappointed. Mm-mm. Mm. Mm-mm. That wasn't the first time I was angry at someone. Mm-mm. But you know what happened? That was the first time I actually acknowledged it. Parents disappoint us all the time. And what do? Oh, that's just our mother, our father. We just push it off to the side like, yeah, that's okay cuz that's who they are. When in reality, that shit fucking hurts. It fucking hurts. It hurts. As I'm saying it right now, you're probably thinking like, yeah, that shit do hurt. It hurts. But you know what happens if you never acknowledge the hurt? You get into another situation, and guess what you're doing when you leave this situation, right? And now you get into a new situation. You taking all the shit that you learned from this situation into the new situation, but you ain't had time to balance yourself out yet. You ain't had time to rid yourself from the previous one, so you going to the new one with excess baggage, and now you're like, oh, I remember the last person I went when they used to go on their phone in the bathroom, they was cheating or they was doing something like this. Now you bringing that baggage over into that new relationship, and the new relationship probably is the one that God sent you, your twin flame, your soulmate, all this new shit they talk about. Maybe that is the one that God sent you, right? But because you don't know how to heal, ask yourself this question, right? Out of all the people you know in your fucking life, whoever told you to take time for yourself and heal? Think about that, right? Whoever told you, like when you got into you were in a relationship and your relationship ended, or any kind of situationship in your life ended, who told you, who came over and sat with you as you cried and wiped your tears and was like, okay, you gonna be okay. Let's figure out how we gonna turn it. Or who just came and sat with you, right? I'm going to tell you about the community that surrounds me, right? I went through a really bad, that was bad for me. That was bad for me. And it was so bad. It wasn't like nothing major happened. It was just bad for me because I never would have thought it would have happened to me. You always be like, oh, that shit ain't going to happen to me. That never happened. We always, my granny taught me this when I was younger. People always say what they gonna do when they not in it, but when you get in it, oh, it changes your perspective. Cause I'm gonna tell you, I never would have thought some shit like that would have happened to me. Never. And then I was the one that got cheated on, and then it was made to seem like I was the one that caused all of it. Hold on, no. I literally gave everything of myself to that. Everything. And as I began to process and accept and acknowledge, and I was like, you know what? I lost myself. I got so lost in love and happiness and joy and just having somebody support me and all. I got lost in that it just what it was. So then when it happened, it was just like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. And I wasn't like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get you back. It was like, oh, okay, no, we need to heal. I've been saying this since I started Sunday Night Dinner and Convo. It's still Sunday Night Dinner and Convo. I just call it Nurturing Conversations Podcast because I'm testing out shit. That's what I realized on a journey of healing and self-discovery, is that you gotta be willing to test shit, right? I've been testing so many things, and I realized something about myself. I used to be afraid to test shit because when you're somebody that people please and like want people to love you, you'll be afraid to hurt people's feelings. I'm not saying that right now. I'm just out here to fucking hurt people's feelings. But let me tell you this, right? It took me getting my feelings hurt for me to go on a fully commit to the journey of healing and self-discovery and fully commit to letting shit go, that I am able to be like, I don't have any fear. There's nothing there. There's really nothing but breath. In my entire life, I've never felt that. Like 42 is so different for me right now. I got to the point in my life where I was just like, I'm just going to heal. I said 2020, I came here. It happened in September. I came back. I was like, I even contemplated being here on YouTube. I was like, fuck YouTube. Fuck everything. You know how life, shit get real bad, and you be like, fuck everything. Even those people that go to church and be religious, we know y'all be cussing behind closed doors because we be saying the shit that y'all be posting on y'all Facebook and Instagram. Anyways, I was just like, fuck everything. And I literally sat in the middle of my fucking floor. I'm telling you all about my community right now. I really sat in the middle of my fucking floor in my living room on my yoga mat. And I was like, fuck it, fuck everything. I'm not moving till I get some understanding. It didn't take long for me to get understanding. I sat there and I just listened. I listened to my heart, and my heart said, we are fucking hurt. I listened to my mind and my body, and it was just like, I was so sad. I was sad. I was sad. And people that knew me called me. It was like, I'm coming over. I'm bringing Popeyes, or let's order DoorDash, or let's just go out and get some food. And I'm like, I don't feel like being outside, but they came and took me to get food anyways. And they just sat here and they made me laugh, and they asked me, how did I feel? What did I think? They never, not nan time, not to this day, this very fucking day, did anyone say anything negative. No one said anything negative. I'm sorry, y'all, that's making me emotional, because I've been around people who have like been real negative. Like, you probably broke up with your baby daddy, baby mama, and your family was like, damn, it's about time you got, we don't, you don't be needing to hear that, but sometimes you do need to hear that. But I was so grateful for them, because they kept me lifted the entire time, and they gave me space, and they wasn't quickly trying to rush me off into the next relationship. They wasn't trying to tell me to get under some people did say, get from under and get on top, whatever that analogy is. People did say that to me, but the main core of my community just loved on me, right? And for the first time, I allowed it. You're probably like, what you mean you allow love? Because the people that I wanted to love me, I didn't feel like they did. My mother and my father was who I wanted to love me. And so everybody else, I couldn't receive it from everybody else, because I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know what love looked like. I know what it felt like to me. Like, I know what it felt like when I saw my nieces and nephews. I just felt love. Like, I want to protect them. I want to make sure no fucked up shit happened to them. I know it's life, but I don't want anything to fucking happen to them. When I look at my brother, when I look at my fucking parents, I didn't want anything to fucking happen to them. It's when you get understanding. So I'm moving through the hurt of the bad breakup, and then I catch COVID. I catch COVID. My mom catch COVID. My father catch COVID. And I'm at this point, I'm like, how the fuck do I finally let go of all of the bitterness and the anger and all the shit that I've been carrying around my entire life, and now they're sick? And I don't know if you know this, but if you have an older parent, the likelihood of them passing away is real. Like, that shit gets real. And for me, that shit had got incredibly real. So much so, like, me and my mother was kicking it every day. I actually caught COVID from my mom. So we're kicking it every day, and I'm worried because she's where she is and I'm where I'm at, and she's trying to check on me. And then my father gets COVID, and I'm just like, oh, this is too much for me. Like, don't let him die. Don't let anything happen to him. I'm just starting to build relationships with him. And so I get better, my mom get better, my father gets better, and then November, my father passes away. But before he passed away, he came and sat with me, and he was just telling me how hurt he was. He was so hurt for me. Like, when I say my father, like, you ever be in a relationship and you feel like your parents love the person that you are with more than they love you? Now, that's not a reality in some cases, but you ever feel like that? So I felt like my parents loved the person that I was with so much. So when my father said, I'm so hurt for you, and he's like, I really liked her, she was cool, and he just went down a list of things, and I was just like, now I'm hurt for him, because and so when he passed away, that it had been 20 something years. It had been like since someone in my immediate family had passed away. And so I like stopped posting on YouTube. I stopped posting on all social media. I just like sat again. I don't know what it is. I sat again in my living room on my yoga mat, and I was just like, let me process my feelings, because again, I'm not walking around with this shit. I'm not gonna hold it in and wait for 5, 6 years down the line and then be crying and thinking about it. Nope. I'm gonna cry my fucking eyes out right now. I know I'm gonna cry at other times, but I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna think about it, because like before my father, I told y'all at the beginning of this that I talked to my fathers in my early 30s. Like I can count on my hand, like before 35, how many times I saw my father, and it wasn't a lot. It's on one hand. But ever since that day I had the conversation with my father, he was either at my house, coming to my house, just leaving my house, on the phone with me, telling me he about to come to my house. And so I spent so much time with him. Crazy thing is that I reconnected with my father because he found me and he was like, I have stage 4 prostate cancer. And for me, that was just like, shit. Like, cancer is cancer is something. I'm gonna tell y'all more about that in just a minute. But so I knew that I didn't want to carry that around anymore. I didn't want to, hold on to that. So he died. He passes away in November. His funeral is December the 10th. And I go to the service or whatever, and there's chatter, there's whispers or whatever. And I haven't been to funerals, and I couldn't tell you the last time I went to a funeral, because as I was growing up, there was so much death. So much death. Like there should be grief groups, or like the community should pull together and police like grief, self care. Like there should be so many different groups or whatever, right? Because nobody really told me how to or showed me, or how to I never knew how to properly grieve something, right? I never knew that. I just knew like you cry, you go to the funeral, you go to the wake, you cry, you go to the funeral, you cry, and then it's like suck it up and get back to your life. Like they gone, why would you still be crying? So I'm like, I go to the memorial service, and I actually stand up there and talk. And it was as I was walking up to the podium that I realized the love that my father had for me. It was so overwhelming for me, like so overwhelming. And I was so overwhelmed that my mom hugged me, and I can't even put into words what that felt like. And it felt like something, because I'm right here. It's not even, it happened last year, and I'm right here and I'm feeling it. It was a feeling that I embraced. It was a feeling that I embraced. So I embraced the feeling, and I'm just grateful for the opportunities. No, I'm just gonna let them fall. I'm grateful for the opportunity I had to actually build a relationship with my father, to understand where he was. Um, I said about grief because my father told me, 2 years before I was born. Like I'm the only girl, so 2 years before I was born, I had a sister. So that means I had a sister. Sister. I didn't have any, I didn't have a sister, but I had a sister. And he said 2 years before I was born, she passed away, and no one talked to him about his feelings. Like nobody, talk. He lost a child. No one said anything to him, or like comfort him, or not saying that people have to, but we're humans. We need somebody to we need that. I don't know if you agree, but again, that's my opinion. We need that. We need people to help us go through that. That's why I say, if you are someone I'm gonna get to this story. We need people to help us. So I feel like if the people in my father's family would have say, hey, we know this is a hard time for you. Like if you ever lost a child, you know how fucking hard that shit is. If you ever lost a fucking parent, when my father passed away, I started seeking out message boards of people who lost their fathers, or I just wanted to know or understand how do you, I don't know. it's a weird space. If you have both of your parents, love them, hug them. If you, whatever you have with them, set that boundary, but like resolve whatever the fuck it is. Because I'm going to tell you, a parent dying is so fucking different. Is different. My grandmother died. I grieved. My uncle died, but like my father is just like, I find myself just sitting here like, damn. Like, you ever see father daughter moments on the fucking TV, and I'm just bawling like, damn. Like, anyways, so December come, January. You're at January 2022 right now. And you know, you make your New Year's resolutions. I had juiced. I'm losing weight. I'm working out. I'm doing everything. I'm feeling great. Life is great. January is great. February, I get a call from the people at my mom's church, and it's like, hey, you need to come and get your mom. She's saying she lost her keys, and I'm just like, wait, what? Like, I'm confused. Like, wait, my mom doesn't forget anything. She knows she knows everything. She knows everybody. So it's weird. Like, now I'm concerned. You know, I'm tired. I was tired. I was at home. They're like, no. Like, one person called, another person called, another person called. I got in my truck. I was like, where's she at right now? They're like, we're about to take her home. I get to her, and she didn't have any recollection of none of the things that those people had just told me. I knew something was wrong. My brother pulled up. He's like, oh, just let her go in the house, lay down, say that it's a no for me. Get my mother to the emergency room. This is like when they still had those COVID protocols. Some hospitals still do. But get her there. They're like, thank you for bringing her, because she's had a stroke, and now she's having another. She had like a series of strokes at one time. She would have went in the house and went to sleep, y'all. That would have been, oh. So now my mom is like, I just lost my father, and now my mom is having health problems, and I'm just like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready. I'm just no, like, you got to be honest with yourself. You just know, like, I'm not ready. Like, I just had lost the person I loved, and I lost my father. I'm just not fucking ready. And I'm just really just sitting here like, I didn't know that with healing comes all of this shit. Like, I didn't know that. And now I'm like second guessing, like, damn, should I continue on the fucking journey? Because who else I'm going to lose? But, you know, that's like life. It's like fear. It's like all of those things. But in that moment, I realized the greatness of life. I understood the dynamic between me and my mother. I understood so much understanding. I began to take care of my mom. Um, I shared my experience with you. If you want, you could go check it out on my YouTube page. I shared my experiences with y'all and what I felt and what I was thinking, and I was processing it at a time, and I was sharing it because I said, if more people talked about what it's like to lose a parent, or what it's like to not have a healthy relationship with your parents, or just more people fucking talked about shit. Um, and I shared it just in case you were not, you know, in a place with your mother, but it didn't take, just so we have a, just so we have a clear understanding. It didn't take my mother having a stroke for me to get to her. I had already done the work, and we got here. And I just was like, it's so hard to watch the person that you feel is the strongest person in the world. Like, it's so hard to watch them just not be themselves, not be that like, she's still her. She's still her, but she's not what she was. And we're going to different doctor visits and all the different things. And then it's like you become the caretaker. When you become the caretaker, you don't realize. I'm going to do a whole video on this, right? Because people don't go to the doctor. People don't go to the dentist. People don't go to the eye doctor. You realize how important those fucking things are. You should regularly be getting checked up. Like you should go to have a gynecological exam, whatever that is, pap smears, physicals. You should be having those regularly because then they can tell you, like they can catch something, right? So I'm going with my mom to these different appointments, and I'm just like, something is different. Something is different. Is different. It's scaring me now because it's like, no, something is different. And then we go and she's taking more tests, and they're like, this is what's happening as a result, and my heart sunk. um I'm gonna take this moment to say, if you um didn't have a good relationship, you don't have a good relationship with your parents, figure that shit out. I'm not telling you to go and put your arms around them and hug them and act like that shit didn't hurt. I'm telling you to deal with that fucking hurt, especially if you are a parent. If your parents treated you some way and now you are a parent, deal with that fucking hurt, because you're going to indirectly pass that shit on to your children. You might not believe it. Again, I said I'm not a mental health professional, but I am just a daughter. I'm a daughter who understands that my mother had situations with her mother and it was unresolved, and it passed on to me. And I was like, no, the fuck it's not. I'm ending it right here because it's a no for me. Figure that shit out. If your father was an absentee father and now you are a father, figure that shit out. That I've heard so many people say, I'm gonna be the greatest father, I'm gonna be a better father. And I get it. I understand life. I understand the person that you had a baby with, you probably didn't anticipate having a baby with. But that child did not ask to fucking be here. So you should stand up and do whatever the fuck you have to do to make sure that that child does not have to experience hardships. Of course, we are living in a world where shit fucking happen, but they, in your household, they will not experience hardships. February. Sorry, I just had to pause right there and say that. February, I'm taking care of my mom. I noticed the end of January, I noticed that my stomach is getting a little bigger, and I'm like, I'm working out. I'm just bloated. Never been bloated in my life, but I'm telling people I'm bloated. Um, my niece Bobo, y'all saw her on the channel. She goes down the stairs like Superman, and so I'm trying to catch her. I didn't know that she can go down the stairs, so I'm trying to catch her, and I hit the last 5 of the stairs. Now I'm like, oh, my back and my butt is hurting, but the majority of the pain was in my stomach. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because I didn't hit my stomach. So I say, let me sneak away. Now I'm taking care of my mother at this time. I say, let me sneak away. I tell my little brother, I'm going to the urgent care. You have to say this to your little brothers and sisters. Don't tell her I'm going to the urgent care. I go to the urgent care. They like, nope, go over to the emergency room. I go to the emergency room. I have a CAT scan. They come back and they tell me you're hemorrhaging. And I'm like, what? And they say you have a mass growing on the inside of you and you're hemorrhaging and we got to fly you to Freighter. I said, no, you don't. I'm going to go home because I need to make sure that my mother understands what this means. Not even thinking about me. I told y'all I would put everybody's before me. They're like, you gotta stay overnight because you're still hemorrhaging. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And so they come back in and they ran so many tests. But the one test that they told me was, there's a cancer antigen test. And they said the results is supposed to be 0.7 to 37.9. And it said, Miss White, your results are 279.7 or 9, something like that. I just remember 279. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And they're like, well, we don't know for sure, but cancer is likely. And when I heard that, I just was like, holy shit. And now I got to stay in the hospital overnight that I didn't even tell. I only told my little brother. So now my mom's asking him questions and he feeling pressure. So he just like, she at the emergency room. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, you didn't even prepare her for that. Like, you got to prepare her. She don't. So the next morning, I get out the emergency room. My mom, she's like, I was looking for you yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, I was going to come by. But, I ended up at the emergency room. So now I'm telling her what's going on, so that she's not worried, so that she doesn't, like she's going through her own thing. So I want to make sure that she's okay. Of course, she's a mother. So she's, worried. So she's like, so what you go for? And I was like, ooh, I'm going to tell you because I'm going to have to tell everybody else anyways. So I'm like, I have a mass growing on the inside of me. They tell me that they can't say, like, this is the most fucked up thing ever. We can't say if it's benign or malignant, whatever that word is. But your cancer antigens is high, so we're going to put you in. So from that day, I was going back and forth to the cancer center, getting blood work, having tests done, and I told you I was going to talk about this right now. Um, so they are like, it's so weird. It's so weird when you live your entire fucking life and you just believing that one day shit is gonna be better, right? You keep believing it. You keep getting kicked down, knocked down, beat up, dragged out, almost died multiple times, and you still like, no, shit is gonna get better. And that's what I believed my entire life. So when it was like cancer protocol, that was some really scary shit. Like, I literally just told my little brother, I said, I done been through so much shit in my life, but the scariest shit ever is to hear the words cancer. And then you go into cancer protocol. So I tell my mom, I set the appointment for my surgery for March 18th. Again, I have to go past these people that's going into chemo, and their bodies, they just looked, and I just felt, oh God. So I get ready to go. My surgery's the next day, and they're like, well, we got to do a test or whatever. And they come back and they say, the mass has grown so large that it has now shifted everything in my body over to the left, and it's entangled in all of my womanly parts. And so they're like, now we have to talk to you about having a complete hysterectomy. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I just fell down 5 fucking stairs. Like, this is where I was at. I'm letting y'all know. This is why it's important to shut up and fucking heal. I'm like, I just fell down 5 fucking stairs. Now you're telling me I'm hemorrhaging. I have a mass growing there. I could possibly have cancer. Now you're telling me that I'm about to lose the woman parts. And if you've never thought about having a child, I'm gonna tell you. When they said that, I was just like, no, I'm gonna have a baby. I'm gonna have a baby. I want to have a baby. Like, it's like I had instant baby fever. I want to have twins. No, I should maybe have a boy. Like, my mind was going miles, and it was just like, this shit is getting real. Not only do I have a mass growing, there's a possibility of cancer, and now you have to remove all of that shit. And they tell me that the night, like 2 days before I'm supposed to go have this surgery. Oddly enough, my community embraced me. My community embraced me. They embraced me. So I'm going to tell y'all, for the first time in my entire life, that I feel, actually it was the second, because I told y'all about earlier, but this instance, I'm going to say, is the first time I've ever felt love at an overwhelming capacity, where I was not afraid at not one time. I was sad and I was scared when they said cancer, because they said I had ovarian cancer, there was breast cancer, and now it's just like another cancer. And so I was just like, the process of it, the cancer protocol process, is so fucking scary. So I go 6:00 on March 18th. I don't even remember if they told me how long the surgery is going to be. I was in there from 6 a.m. to like 3. They brought my whole surgery team in. I'm laughing. I'm happy. I'm happy that when they brought these people in, they were smiling and they were in a good mood, because I was going to say, if anybody is having a bad day, I don't want you to be, because they telling me, like, I'm allergic to acetaminophen because of after COVID. I'm allergic to acetaminophen. So they're telling me all these different things that they have to give me. So I had to be intubated. They did a lot of stuff to me. So I had to be intubated. And I have the surgery. I come out. It takes me a minute to come out of the anesthesia. And the first thing, I bet y'all can guess the first thing I asked when I woke up, because they have it out now. They have the mask. They took they pretty much took everything except for my intestines. Everything else is gone. It's that breath work. Um, so the first question was, do I have cancer? Couldn't tell me that. They said we gotta wait um to get all the test everything and figure it out. So for 12 fucking days, they're like, so what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go do chemo? Like, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna tell y'all, because I keep it real with y'all. I said, I'm gonna smoke so much fucking weed. I'm gonna try edibles. I'm trying every fucking thing. I'm gonna just be high for the rest of my life. That's just what I said. I'm just gonna do it. And of course, this was the part for me that made the cancer protocol tough. I already knew what the fuck I was gonna do. I already knew I was just gonna smoke. I'm not doing no fucking radiation. No, I'm not doing none of that shit. Like, I'm like, y'all had me for 41 years. All that y'all didn't get, y'all not gonna get no more. I'm just gonna be high. We gonna kick it. I'm going out up there. That's where I'm going out. And then my family was like, no, but you should too. You should try it. And then, like, I thought to myself, right? This is why I say, if you or someone you love had cancer and you had to go to the cancer protocol, you have my utmost respect. Because for a person to make those decisions is hard. And I don't think the person on the other side that doesn't have to make that decision, I don't think they understand how hard it is. Like, I think they want you to do it because they love you and they're not ready to lose you. And I get that. But for me, it was like, oh, no fucking way. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to smoke. And that's going to be it. So I had to wait 12 fucking days. Those was the longest 12 days of my entire fucking life. And then as they're removing the staples, they were moving the staples, and the lady was like, oh, you don't have cancer. And I was like, oh, I don't have cancer? Y'all fucking took me through all of this shit. I mean, I appreciate it. I'm not unappreciative. I'm grateful. So in the event that maybe it was, we were good. But I went through all of that for you to say. I think it was the way she said it. Oh, you don't have cancer. So I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm healing. In my mind, I was not thinking about myself. I was thinking about my mom. I'm thinking about everybody else. And life just kept saying, I kept hearing it loudly. Like, it wasn't a small voice, it was loudly. It just kept saying, rest. Everything I heard, I hear the TV, I hear the music, but in my mind, going back and forth, all I hear is rest. And I'm like, no, because I got to do this. I got to do that. At this time, it's realtors walking through my house because my landlord is about to sell the house. So I got so much shit going on. It's like, I can't rest. Like, if I rest, who's going to do? Because again, I'm the person that's doing everything. And so, I'm feeling something like it's weird. My voice feels weird. Like it goes in and out, and it's feeling weird. And I go and I tell my doctor, he's like, oh, we're going to send you to the ear, nose, and throat doctor. I go to the ear, nose, and throat doctor. This is the most doctors I've been to. Anyways, so I go to the ear, nose, and throat doctor. Tells me that there is a small, like, you get a little bite, there's a little bump, there's a polyp on your vocal cords. So I was like, okay, cool. I go to vocal therapy, and I'm just like, no, something is going on. At this time, I had already made up in my mind, like, fuck everything. I'm just going to do every fucking thing I ever wanted to do in life, because there's nothing holding me back right now. So I'm at vocal therapy, and it was at vocal therapy that I realized that vocal therapy is another form of therapy. And for me, it was giving me the strength and understanding of the importance of my voice and the influctuations and all of those things in regards to the voice. But it dawned on me. It said at 12, I shut my fucking voice off because I told people that I was being molested by someone, and no one did anything to stop what was happening to me. And so I felt like nobody cared. I felt like my voice didn't matter. So I just stopped talking. I just stopped telling people shit. And it was at that moment, I'm literally sitting. There's, of course, just COVID protocol. So there's a glass or plastic, whatever, right here. And my therapist was like, "You just had an aha moment." And I was like, I don't know what the fuck kind of moment it was, but it was like my life was just like, again, woohoo, you finally getting to the place. Like, you meeting all of the milestones, and I'm balling, and I'm just like, holy shit. Like, it was like that moment I was transported to the exact day I said, I'm not saying shit ever again. I was transported. Not literally, not figured literally, but figuratively. I was transported. So I'm going and I'm telling her, like, no, there's something going on in my throat. Then they say, oh, let's go do your ear, nose, and throat again. So they stick the camera in my nose, and this time there's a polyp. It's about this big. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's about that big on my vocal cords. And this was July. Now, I just had a major surgery in March. In July, the doctor is like, oh, no, you have to have a surgery to have it removed. And immediately I said, I'm never having another fucking surgery ever again in my life. I need a second opinion. So he was like, no, the person that you're going to go see is going to tell you the same thing. I said, again, I'm not ever having another fucking surgery. Y'all hear me saying it? Let me get a little closer. I'm never having another fucking surgery in my life because the trauma of it, nobody talks to you about the trauma of it. I'm going to get to there. I'm going to get to there in a few minutes. This is why you're probably like, what the fuck does this have to do with shut up and heal? I'm telling you, just listen. At the same time I'm going through all this shit, rest is all I hear in my head. I scheduled an appointment. My vocal therapist is telling me, hey, like, you need to meet with this guy. He's a vocalist, he's a doctor, and he's a vocalist. This why it is important to have representation. And I'm not just talking about black, I'm talking about a doctor who's actually a vocalist. So he knows like the trauma that can happen to my voice from just having a surgery, right? So I schedule September the 8th. I go, and they're talking. I show them the size of it, and he's like, oh my God, that is a big, I don't even know what the legal or not legal, the medical term for it. And so they put the camera up in my nose, and now the computer or the screen is turned to them. So they're looking, and their eyes is big, and they're like, could you show us that again? So I show it to them again, and they turn the screen around, and there's like, it's not there, it's gone. And I'm sitting over here like, holy shit, like, I know it was there. And we all looking at the video of it being there, and then it is gone. And I said, as I'm sitting in the chair, I'm just like, oh, I'm really about to talk. Oh, they shouldn't have let me. And now when I say they, it's like life, like I knew one day I was going to be in a position where I felt comfortable talking. I knew where I was going to be in a position where once I found my voice, when you find your voice, when we find our voice and start standing up for ourselves and stop accepting shit because it's our mothers, our fathers, our families, our friends, our baby mamas, baby daddies, cousins, aunties, and uncles, when we really start standing up for ourselves, whew. Anyways, so I go through all of that, right? Now I'm at the point where I'm still hearing rest. I'm still hearing rest. And then it dawned on me. Rest. You're probably like, no, rest. Like, don't do anything. I had never just not did anything in my life. I was always on the go, always making sure, driving, flying, doing all this kind of stuff. And it was just like, just rest and be still. And I don't know if you've ever paid attention to how peaceful it is to just be still. And like everything going on around you. Like, have you ever heard a bird chirp? Have you ever like saw a squirrel just run across? Like, I know if you're driving, you probably see a squirrel running across all the time. But you ever saw a bunny rabbit? Like, let me tell you, I was resting. So like, I just stopped doing shit and was just observing the things around me. I started seeing yellow birds, blue birds, red birds. Um, I started seeing all these different birds. They probably was there the entire time, but I never paid attention to them because I was too busy. I was busy. Thank you, Journey, for coming by. I appreciate it. Um, I was too busy. I started hearing music again. Like I started hearing notes and I started hearing lyrics and I just started hearing everything. It was like everything had been blocked out because I was so busy. So all the shit that I've been wanting to do, I couldn't do because I was so busy. And now that I'm resting, it's like my life has been renewed, been restored. And had I not shut up and just fucking healed, I probably wouldn't be in this space because I would still be on the fucking merry-go-round like, oh, well, this shit, I mean, this happened, but I'm gonna use that as fuel. Now, I did use a lot of shit as fuel to get to the place where I am right now, where right now I can breathe and not have it feel like an elephant is sitting on my fucking chest. I could talk to people and understand where they are and not take on their problems, but understand where they are and learn to like let them figure it out for themselves. Like I understand that now. Like understanding is something that I definitely developed on this journey of healing and self-discovery. And I wanted to talk about shut up and heal because again, we don't tell people to heal. We tell them to get over it. We tell them to move on, but we don't tell them to heal. Not only do we don't tell them, we don't give them information. So y'all know I always have paper. Sometimes I just start with the paper and I go off of it, but I always have paper. We need to do more of helping people heal. I was saying, I don't know if you are watching it or wherever you are in the world, but there are so many different scenarios of parents abusing their children, um, people in domestic situations. There are so many people unaliving women and children. And I said, I remember a time back when I was growing up, you could not touch women, children, and the elderly. You could not. Like them, like in the community, people will really deal with you if you touch those people. Like they will really deal with you. And if you in the community, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. They will really deal with you if you touch women, children, and kids. But now it seems like all bets are off. And I say, again, this is my personal opinion. I feel like if more people had the space to talk about what they were feeling or what they were going through and didn't have to worry about being judged, it seemed like we put judgment over everything. Judgment. We worried about if people gonna like what we wear or what we say or how we say it. Like it's a no for me. I could really care less. I could really care less. But I get not everyone is like me. So it's people that actually care. It's people that care what they post on their social media because they know that if I post this, I'm gonna get a million likes, and if I don't, if they live their life based on likes, that's not me. And I feel like if more people had the space to talk about the shit that they endured in their past, in their childhood, last relationship, work relationship, education, whatever fucking situation that they do, if we start asking people more, how are you doing? What's going on with you? What you're thinking about? If you are a parent, if you notice a difference, like your child is being different, if you start asking them the questions, not like yelling at them or talking to them, but started asking, showing genuine care, I feel like more people would be in a better space. I would always advocate for therapy. Just probably be like, well, I tried it and it worked for me. You have to go in with an open mind and an open heart. The same way you keep tossing shit to Jesus. I can't believe I just said shit and Jesus in the same sentence and I said it again. But the same way you keep tossing shit to whatever deity that you believe in and you're like, okay, they're gonna take care of it. The scriptures or whatever you read, it says faith without works is dead. If you're not doing the thing that can help you get better, then you are just believing in something that is dead. It's not going to work. You have to actually put the work in. If you want to be better, you want to heal, you want to move and grow, you can't stay in the same space. When I think about me, it was like I was doing the same thing, hoping that there was a different result. When you go and look in a dictionary, it says insanity is doing the same thing, hoping for a different result. If If you are always the person that's sticking your hand out or calling or texting, stop calling and texting and see how many people reach out to you. I kid you not. This year is the most anybody, um, well, 2020 was cute. Like that's when I'm going to say that's when it start. But 2022 is the most I've had anyone ever check on me. Like people call me, text me, FaceTime me, DM, pop up on me. Like people really been checking up on me in 2022. And for that, I want to say thank you, especially the people that subscribe to my YouTube or follow me on YouTube. I want to say thank you to y'all because y'all definitely have kept me lifted between everything, relationship, father passing, COVID, every fucking thing. Y'all have kept me lifted, and for that I appreciate y'all. And this is why I'm saying we should have more safe spaces where people can come and have a conversation, even if you don't even say shit, but you just come and listen. I'm hoping that something that I'm saying, I'm not leaving, I'm not ending just yet, I'm segueing from that so I can provide you with things that you can do to help you heal, like how you can begin your healing journey. I'm not just gonna tell you how to shut up and heal and not tell you how to like start your healing journey. That wouldn't. I mean, I took a long time to get here, but hey, we're here right now. So, excuse me. I have a list of things that could help us build our self-esteem. Um, and starting with learning and knowing to appreciate your body, listening to your body. You ever like um eat you ever eat something and it's like your body is like we're full, but you're like, no, I paid too much money for this fucking food, I'm about to eat it. No, your body is full, and then you get sick, or then you're not feeling well, you feel a little like you get the itis. It's because your body was like, hey, that's enough, you put enough in us. Or you ever be in a situation where your body is like, we don't feel comfortable here. We don't feel safe here. But then your mind overrules your body because it's like, if I don't talk to this person or I don't do this, I can't pay my rent or I can't live. I can't do whatever I need to do. We need to stop overruling our body, our heart, and listen to our bodies. This is number two. This is really important because along with healing, along with self care, number three, we don't encourage people to set boundaries. We don't encourage people to set boundaries because that means they might have to cut some of us off. I'm encourage you to set boundaries. If you cut me off, it's okay because I understand. I want you to be happy and whole. That's my thing. But we need to learn to set boundaries that feel right to us. Set boundaries that feel right to you. Don't set boundaries because your mother, sister, auntie, uncle, brother, cousin, baby daddy, baby mama, because anybody else told you should set them. You should set boundaries that feel right to you. That's whether it's work, education, family, relationship, kids, all of that. You ever thought like, they say, oh, I can't wait till I get 18, and you be like, oh, I can't wait to get 18 so you can move out, or like you an adult and you leave your parents' house, but you don't realize that parents will always, and I say this because I'm 42 years old, but my mom is like, she before I came on, she called and was like, hey, are you coming over? And I'm like, yeah, I'm coming over. I'm gonna come over. I was supposed to go over before the podcast, but now I'm gonna go over after the podcast. But like they always worry. They always, you probably be like, I'm so fucking gone, it don't matter. But they always worry because you are a part of them. But sometimes you have to set boundaries. Set those boundaries. Number four, no, number three. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Number three is learn to advocate for yourself. Ask for what you want. This is where I say use your words. Tell people what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you dislike, what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate. Advocate for yourself. Speak up, says the woman who just learned the value of her voice. Yes, speak up. Number four, build your self-esteem. Build your self-esteem. That's something that I feel like a lot of people aren't, their self-esteem isn't the best, and so they take what they can get, and we live in a I'm gonna take what I can get to society, so I'm just gonna take it. He might cheat on me or she might cheat on me, but at least she come home to me. Nope, not in 2022. You survived a global fucking pandemic. Build your self-esteem. You deserve the best. You deserve to be happy. You deserve it. We don't tell people that. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be everything. You deserve it. You shouldn't have to fight for people love. You shouldn't have to buy people things for them to love you. You deserve love. Number 5, I'm not even gonna keep putting a number on here because I'm looking at this list and I didn't even put a number next to it. But anyways, is develop um a regimen or develop things that keep you active, that help you feel better, that make you like in this coming week, I'm going to share with y'all some things that helped me um take my mind from like the shit happened to you, be like, oh, but it helps me stay in a positive space. It helped me stay thinking positively and looking forward to the future, and not just like, oh, not. I'm not saying I don't have those moments because sometimes I do. They like real small, but I allow space for that, and then I say, listen. Are we gonna sit down here and twiddle our fingers and want somebody else to do shit for us, or are we gonna get up and make the shit happen? I'm gonna get up and make the shit happen. So y'all gonna see some of the shit that I do to help me as a form of therapy. Um, recognize the patterns. That's the next one. Recognize the patterns in your life. Recognize them. You ever notice that you date a certain type of people, or you ever notice that you attract a certain type of people? Like all the people that hang around you, like you the go-to person, that you the person to talk to. Like I love, now I don't be liking too many of the things that people be saying, but I love whoever said check on your strong friends, because sometimes the people who are strong, they get weak. Especially if you're carrying around everybody else shit, you gonna get weak. You gonna feel this is too heavy for me. Let me put this shit down. Check on your strong friends. Recognize the patterns, because there is always patterns. You might not believe it. There is always patterns, always. And there's patterns in our family that things that we notice or we experience as a young person, and now as an adult we didn't pay attention to it. Like we don't pay attention to it because we just be thinking like, well, this is how I grew up. But you can change. You can change. I talked about this one a little bit, but it's like establish harmony within your family. Like if you and your mother is beefing, or your father is beefing, or brothers, sisters is beefing, like figure out what the fuck was y'all beefing for anyways. What the fuck was, that's not to discount anything that you experienced, but it's like get to the root of that, because you don't want that to keep you from, like say your parents did some fucked up shit to you and then you like take your kids over there just because that's their grandparents. No, you shouldn't subject your child to that. And that's not saying that they are going to treat your child like they treat you, but that's the reality of it. You want to make sure that you're protecting your child. Protecting your child. This one probably should have been at the top of the list, but again, is learn to communicate. Learn to communicate. Don't just accept shit because people say you should accept it. Learn to communicate. Tell them, I'm not accepting shit. Either you're gonna talk to me with respect, or you're not gonna talk to me at all. You see how empowering that felt? You got to learn to say shit like that. But instead, we just be taking shit like I said a couple of weeks ago. Like people be going to family gatherings, know they don't want to even be around their family, but they go because that's their family. You know, nowadays you can create your own family. I know I say this all the time. Like your mother will still be your mother. Your family members will still be your family members. You would just have an extension of your family. Like it's who you bring in. My family is grown, honey. Family is grown. I want to say stop the negative thinking. I went to an event last Saturday, and I was talking, and I said, Have you ever realized how many people don't look at themselves in the mirror? And you probably like, no, people look at themselves in the mirror all the time. But think about it, like most women are looking at themselves in the mirror as they're putting on makeup. So as they are enhancing their face, they're looking in the mirror. Of course, you gotta look in the mirror before you put your makeup on, but like, are you really looking in the mirror like, damn, I've been through a lot and I'm still smiling. I still look good. I ain't cracked. There's no crack anyways. Y'all know black don't crack anyways. But I look good. Like, man, I overcame some shit. Like, I got a lot of more shit to go over, but, or like, you ever notice like people don't look in the mirror until they get fly? They get real fly. It's like, let me look in the mirror. Then they want to do selfies. Like, ever notice when people take a selfie, it's always got like a filter or they got the phone at a different angle so you don't see their imperfections. I'm the type of person like there is no such thing as perfect. I'm gonna show you every fucking thing. I want you to see. Like when I be working out, I'm bringing that back this week. When I be working out, people was like, "Oh, you too big to be working out. You shouldn't be doing that." And I thought to myself, like everybody that I see be working out, I don't be seeing people that's my size. That's my size working out. You don't see that. You probably see us at the gym, but don't nobody got their phone out like, "Oh, look at them." No. I want you to be able to see somebody that look like you, that's your size, or even in the weight class, like built like you, because I'm a voluptuous woman. That's somebody that's built like you and they're working out. I want you to be inspired to work out. I don't want you to feel like, oh, well, I'm going to join the gym and then no. I want you to feel inspired. I'm out here to inspire the world. That's what I'm here to do. And then it's like, develop a plan. Develop a plan. If in the 2 fucking years we've been through this global fucking pandemic and all of the other shit on top of it, you haven't figured out like you deserve to be happy. If you haven't been happy your entire fucking life, choose today, right now, to say, you know what, I deserve to be happy. And whatever the fuck I have to do to be happy. Like people was like, you tell people to leave their relationships. I never tell people to leave their relationships. But if in your mind, for some years, days, months, weeks, and hours, you're saying you know you're not supposed to be in this relationship, but you're there anyways, maybe because they got the good ooey gooey or whatever. And you just stay. You just stay because I don't want to start all over. Listen, fuck starting all over. Having having the ability to start all over is a plus. But we look at it as like, damn, I gotta start all over. That gives you the opportunity. Like, think about it, right? If you, in the brain that you have right now, can go back to high school with all the shit that you know right now and go back to high school, you will probably be a valedictorian, a salutatorian, whatever the fuck it is. You'll probably have a 4.0 right now in high school. But you remember when you were in high school, you remember all the shit that you was experiencing in high school that was making it hard for you to concentrate, or it was making it hard for you to just even be present. We got to start acknowledging. We got to accept, acknowledge, and discover a different way to operate. You know what, Samira? Um, it is. I was telling someone, I was like, I juiced from, I don't even know how long I juiced. I know I stopped juicing in September. I stopped full juicing in September because I had COVID. But I was still juicing, but I wasn't like, I ate food because, you know, but, it takes discipline. It definitely discipline is something that is really integral to any kind of journey, any kind of anything you do. It takes discipline because you go like you ever be like, I'm gonna try this diet this week, right? And you be like, I'm not gonna eat no meat or no sweet. And then somebody be like, hey girl, you wanna go out to eat? Don't worry about it. I got it. And then you thinking like, where was you at when I wasn't? Where was you at when I wasn't on this diet? Or I wasn't fasting. Like I do intermittent fasting. So I do intermittent fasting and I drink a juice. So coming November I'm ramping it up and I'm going to drink, I say 2 to 3 juices, but once I drink one juice, I be kind of full, and I drink water in between there, and I drink tea at nighttime and tea in the morning. So I got a whole little regimen I do, and if I do like get really hungry, then I eat some fruit. or some vegetables or like beans. I don't know. When I was growing up, I hated beans, but now it's like, oh, I'll eat some beans. My favorite are black beans. I eat black beans, or my mother just made these beans, lima beans. Lima beans are great northern beans. It's one of those beans. So I eat those, and it's just like you feel different. Like if you are mindful of what you put in your body, you feel different. Like even if like I don't be on social media a lot. Like when I go on YouTube, I watch the people that I see regularly. I watch them. I make sure I comment. When I'm on Facebook, I post what I post, and I just be chilling. I stream on Twitch late night. I play Call of Duty Mobile. But other than that, I don't be paying attention to the news or stuff like that. Here lately, I've been paying attention because it's like, why is it like almost every other day you're hearing about somebody unaliving their significant other? It's a no for me. We got to start having more nurturing conversations with our friends. Like our friends for real. Like we got to start having conversations with our friends. Like you call that person your friend, you want to make sure you're having that conversation with them. That's male and female. That's like non-binary. That's trans. You want to make sure we're having these conversations with our friends, because you never want it to be like, damn, that shit happened, and then it's like, oh, I could have said something, or they reached out to me. Like, you ever call somebody and then a voicemail come on and you hang up? Not me. I leave a voicemail. You know why I leave a voicemail? Because I want them to know that I care. I'm not saying that you don't care if you don't leave a voicemail, but I want you to know that I care. I wake up in the morning, and if I have your number, I will text you grand rising. Before I go to sleep, I will text you good evening. I hope that you are having a wonderful. I do that. If you have my number, you know I do that. That's what I do. And if I don't have your number, I'll send it to you on whatever you follow me. I will send it to you and let you know. That's what I do. I actually really do care about people, and I feel like since we've been in a global fucking pandemic, and since we've been locked up and everybody's just outside just doing whatever, have y'all seen the numbers for STDs? Like when I saw that, I was like, holy shit. Like that's holy shit. It's like not only do you have to worry about catching COVID or monkeypox, now you got to worry about somebody you with cheating on you, and now you're worried about it. It's I was telling somebody last night, I said I went to a predominantly white school and they showed some shit. They showed like the graphic pictures and videos of what like STDs look like. And I was like, oh, fucking no fucking way for me. It's a no for me. Somebody ever told you like, okay, Billy slept with Sarah, but Sarah has slept with John, Tim, and Michael. And now Billy slept with Tiffany, Amber, and Susan. So now there's like, you done slept with 6, 7 people and you only slept with one person. When they broke that shit down for me, I was like, oh, it's a no for me. Oh, it's a no for me. But then you think about it, right? People out here cheating every day, all day, left and right. Some of them ain't even cheating. They just doing it because, you know, it's the thing to do. Whatever you doing out here, make sure you wrap it up. That's all I got, y'all. Shut up and heal. You probably done told yourself shut up so many times, but you probably never even said heal. 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 Go to therapy. Heal. Allow yourself time and space. Allow yourself the opportunity to feel those emotions. I told somebody I'm 42 years old and I've been heartbroken, hurt, disappointed, ashamed, happy, sad. I've been all of the gambit of emotions. As long as you are alive, you will experience them. But let me tell you what I learned, right? The first time you get disappointed, the first time you get hurt, the first time all of those shit happen, those emotions happen to you, you feel incredibly. They are so strong. They just like overwhelming at times, right? But the more you experience it, you start to develop something. You start to know, like, okay, I was hurt. Okay, cool. It's not cool, but it's like, okay, let me process it. This is what I be doing right now. I'll be like, let me process it. Somebody asked me a question before, I used to answer real fast. Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm doing this. Let me process it. You coming over? Nope. I'm staying in the house today. Are you? Nope. Listen, no has become my best friend. I used to struggle. I would tell people no, and then I'd call them back and be like, listen, you already know I have a problem with no. Now I'll just be like, no. I had to I had to grieve relationships. I had to grieve loss. I had to grieve friendships. I had to let just let shit go. Like I had to let people go that I never in my life would have thought I would have had to let them go, and I had to let them go. And for me, it wasn't a bad experience. It was just I'm growing. And I can't stay in the same space with you because we've been through some hardships, or I can't stay in the same space with you because you're not ready to move. I have to move. I have a place where I'm growing. Like you probably feel like that. You probably feel like, man, I want to go here. Like I used to think about when I was growing up, my grandmother, like everybody kept asking, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And I'm like, I want to be a pediatrician. Hey Cam, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I appreciate you stopping by. Um and being asked that so much is like, what do I want to do? I literally had a wonderful meeting yesterday with uh he's the owner of a new youth venture that's coming here. And some years ago we sat down and we were talking. He was like, I want you to come on the board. And at that time I wasn't ready. And I'm not saying like I wasn't ready because I didn't have the skills or anything like that. It was just life was going on and I was allowing everything else, putting everybody in front of me. So I wasn't ready. So we sit down having coffee, and he's talking. He was like, it's so crazy that we're sitting here right now and you're saying all the things that you're saying. He was like, are you ready now? And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm ready now. I'm free. I am free. I am doing everything I ever wanted to do because I'm free. And I don't mean free because I'm out of a relationship. I mean I'm free. I don't have any fears. I'm free. I'm off the porch. I'm past my comfort zone. Before I was like, I want to get out of my comfort zone. I just realized like I've been singing. Like I don't know if y'all come for Saturday Night Vibes. I be fucking singing. I be singing. Singing while we're right here. On Saturday, Saturday Night Vibes will be on, it's staying on YouTube. Tuesday, I'm doing Tuesday Night Vibes on Twitch. If you don't follow me on Twitch, you should. Thursday, I'm doing Thursday Night Vibes on TikTok, and I'm gonna tell y'all some of the other things that I'm going to be doing. I'm so excited about, like, when you step past your comfort zone. Like, listen, like, you ever failed at something in life? You know that feeling you have? You failed. So if you fail again, guess what you could do? You could take what worked and what didn't work and then try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's the thing that I'm telling y'all. When you go on a journey of healing and self-discovery and really start healing shit, like real life processing and dealing, like, why do you like the type of people you like? Why do you go the places you go? Why do you say the shit you say? Why do you do the things you do? When you really start processing that shit and you start realizing, like, you start thinking like some of the shit you do because you heard or people said, or that's what people around you did. Like, when you really start processing that shit, you will start letting shit go too, and you will see how free you feel. Freedom is so great. So I like I said at the beginning, I wasn't necessarily telling you to shut up and heal. I was saying shut up and heal. Like, if that's for you, like I said, if the shoe fits, wear it. If that's for you, maybe you need to hear it. Maybe you were asking your deity for a sign to say, show me a sign that it's time for me to just sit down and go to therapy, or just heal, or let this shit go, or move on for this relationship, move on for this job. Maybe that's what and you came to this channel and it says, shut up and heal. Maybe you've been waiting for somebody to say that. I'm going to say, shut up and heal. I'm going to say, shut up and grow. I'm going to say, shut up and let go. Shut up and learn. That's a good one. Shut up and learn to unlearn. Those are some good topics. I'm gonna tell you, I've been getting real good at picking these topics. But yeah, that's all I got. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming. I appreciate y'all for coming last night. Those of you who came for Saturday Night Vibes. I had so much technical difficulties, but I'm gonna get it all figured out because that's what I'm here to do, figure it out. Thank y'all for coming today. I do have 2 videos the video from yesterday and the video from day that's gonna come up. And if you're free tonight, a little later, Cam, if you're still here, if you play Call of Duty Mobile, come run with me. I'm playing zombies tonight. I'm gonna show y'all what I be doing. I be playing Call of Duty Mobile. It's something. It's odd to say that it's relaxing, but it's actually relaxing. I haven't played a video game in I don't know how long, but I seem to be really good at Call of Duty Mobile. But yeah, I have that. And then of course I'm gonna share with y'all some of the things that I have going on. Cause listen, when you get to the point where you're out of your comfort zone and you don't give a fuck about what anybody say or what anybody thinks, I'm gonna tell you, it's like the world is going to fucking open up to you. I'm so serious. Give me your tag right now. I'm gonna add you right now. Get my pencil. Send me your tag or post your tag and I'm gonna add you and we can run. I be running. I be telling people I be playing with people from Trinidad and Tobago. Is that what it is? Jamaica. I be playing with people everywhere. No, you don't have to talk. Half of the people don't even be talking. I be talking because I be talking, but you don't have to talk. ACAM too. I'm adding you right now. Look, adding you. My phone is in my hand. I'm about to add you right now. If you or somebody you know play Call of Duty Mobile, add your girl. Add your girl. Sorry, y'all. I be getting distracted. I forgot my phone, my volume is off. So people was calling and texting me. Thank y'all for the calls and texts. I really appreciate it. Cam, I'm adding you. If you play Call of Duty, if you want to play Call of Duty, you're thinking about it, you should do it. You should definitely do it. I gotta do this real fast because when people be seeing I'm on, they be trying to let's play. A cam up 2 3. Sorry y'all for the silence. I just requested you. Let me make sure I move some people around so you can actually. Sorry, y'all. They trying to get me to play. I'm not playing right now. Hold on. Okay. Anyways, I played. Listen, this is how I play right here. My iPhone 13 Pro Max and a PlayStation 4 joystick. Let me tell you. Thank you so much, I'm stuttering. Sorry, LJ the Geek. Thank you so very much. My niece Jamela told me. I done hit myself in. My niece Jamela told me how to play with the joystick. She taught me how to play. When I tell y'all, shit, I be. My name is 187 Female Sniper. That's my name. I'm cold with the snipers. Anyways, that's all I got, y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming and kicking it with me and chopping it up and listening to me. Because honestly, I did this because I was like, I want to have a safe space where people can come and talk about the shit that they want to talk. If you have a topic that you want people to talk about, if you have a topic that you want to hear somebody talk about that people don't talk about, send it to me. Send it to me in my inbox. My information is in the description box. Send it to me. I'll fucking talk about it. I'm talking about every fucking thing. I done talked about molestation. I done talked about religion. I done talked about LGBTQI+A. I done talked about everything. And I'm going to keep talking about it because what I wish was that I wish somebody would have said this to me. I wish. That's a hint for something I got coming up. But anyways, that's all I got. Remember, it is important for you to use your words. That is the only way that anyone will ever know what you are feeling and what you are thinking. I will never let a live video, vlog, short, or anything that I present to you go out without me telling you to love yourself, your faults, your fears, and your failures. Know yourself. Trust yourself. Oh, Me, I'm definitely there. I'm definitely there. If you're talking to me, I'm definitely there. I'm speaking. Listen, I'm gonna put this out right here. I'm gonna tell y'all right here. My objective between now and the end or this time 2023 is to have a TED talk. I don't know if y'all know a TEDx talk. I'm gonna say TEDx and then maybe I'll go to TED, but I just want to do a TEDx talk. So that's my goal. That's what I'm striving for. So when y'all see me doing things, listen, trust and believe it's gonna happen. Everything else I've been wanting to happen has happened, is happening, and there's plans for it to happen. Trust and believe it's gonna happen. If you are believing, I'm believing with you. As long as it's positive and it don't cause harm to anybody else, I'm believing with you. Make sure you get your toiletries, non-perishable food items, disinfectant, water. And if you are out here, set a little money to the side. And if you are out here engaging in adult situations, as you know, doing all that stuff, wrap it up because the STD, you already got to be concerned about COVID and monkeypox and Ebola and polio and all the other shit out here. Just wrap it up. I hope you've decided to press subscribe. And if you want, you could join the channel too, but I'm going to tell you all about that in another video. This has been really therapeutic for me, and I appreciate y'all for coming. I hope to see y'all next Sunday. I don't know what the topic is just yet, but y'all see it. I'm going to do more cross promotion on all of my different platforms. And yeah, I love you. Until next time, peace.